been my experience in working with hundreds of communities over the years that the biggest hurdle to revitalization is ineffective boards. I've started to see the same patterns repeat themselves after a while, and the boards that get the least amount done seem to be full of people that have the most on their plate. And what I mean by that is that, I'd often heard the same excuses time and time again that, oh, as a board member, I don't have time, I've got other commitments, there's other things that I can't make this a priority. Yet in communities where the revitalization effort was incredibly effective, people with, also important jobs, also with families, also with other commitments, were able to find the time to get the job done. And so what I realized is it's really a priority problem. It's not the fact that in one community people are busier than another. It's that board members in particular organizations understood that their commitment had to be a priority. Board seats are incredibly important. When you think about the impact of a revitalization organization, it improves economic development prospects, it affects tourism, it has an impact on the quality of life of every single resident. And so to not take that commitment more serious is a huge issue, and it really hinders an organization's chances to make this impact in the community, to transform a place. But all the blame doesn't necessarily fall on the board members. I believe a big part is structural, and the approach that we take when we're trying to figure out how to build an organization or how to structure an organization. And the problem that I always see, or the typical approach is, well, let's try to cast a wide net when we're seeking out board members. Let's ask them for the least amount possible, and that way we're going to interest the most people, which is a really backwards approach to trying to do something that's so important. I understand the idea of not wanting to ask too much, but what you're in effect doing is saying to be on this board means that you really don't have any commitment at all. And you can see the problem with that. Really what we should be doing is being explicit about the type of commitment we need, about exactly what we expect out of board members, about the time commitment, about the monetary commitment, that it means that this is going to be a significant amount of your time dedicated to this effort because it is so important. That's where we have to change this by being very explicit about what exactly we want. We're going to narrow our pool of candidates to the people that are very serious. We know what to expect and we can hold them accountable. And the concern that, well, that's just going to cause burnout, it's not true. Burnout doesn't come from asking people to do too much. It comes from asking people to do too little. When board members are involved in great organizations and give their time and are making a difference, they feel incredibly rewarded. They are happy to dedicate their time. They're happy to give their effort, their blood, sweat, and tears to this organization, to this entity, because they're making an impact. It's making a difference, and it feels good. It's when you ask a board member to sit in the same meeting for the third week in a row and discuss the same things that causes burnout. That's tiresome, that gets old, and nobody wants to do that. So when you think about how to go about improving your organization, really you have to give consideration to asking the most out of people. No individual entity ever improved by setting their standards low, and the impact is too great. The impact on your community, on the people's quality of lives is dependent on this effort. So you really have to step it up. Ask more people because it matters so much.